everyone is feeling so exhausted because they make their life feel so mentally draining. They think about the things that shouldn't matter, they worry about things that are not a top priority, and they let small things compact into huge issues. Yes, it's not a big deal, small things don't matter. When you wait weeks, months, and sometimes even years, small things build up into huge stresses that incapacitate you from being able to live your life. So, like, what exactly makes me tired and what drains me of my energy? I think that the thing that is like most draining of energy isn't when I'm doing the most work or I'm making a huge impact, but instead it's when I feel that I have so much potential, but I can't address it. So when there's so many things I want to do, so many things on my mind, so many things that burden me, and when the whole day goes pretty poorly, and let's say like I have all these things I wanted to finish and I don't get any of it done, I think that's the most draining fact. It's the most draining fact because I feel that I'm full of regret and I'm full of like a bittersweet feeling because I know that I could have done it, but maybe I was just like too lazy or I was just too unfocused or too distracted. And because of that, I feel like I wasted the whole day. Like ideally, what I should do is go back into place and get after it and finish it up. But sometimes like that negativity makes me spiral even worse. So that when I do feel bad about myself, I end up being even less productive and even more burdened so that I am stuck for many, many days or many, many weeks just being upset about how unproductive I am. I think that's why when you're on a vacation or when you're on spring break or when you're on winter break, I used to have like all these goals of things I want to do. So that's like do all these homework assignments, study for something big, do a bunch of projects, make a bunch of projects, work on all these small things and like spend time and be better myself and be more productive. But what ends up always happening is that I always lay in bed, go on TikTok and rot, and then I go back to school feeling so much worse. Obviously, the answer is easy. All you have to do is be more productive or be more focused next time. But I don't know if I feel arrogant, but I always feel that I know how to do it next time. And for every single winter break, every single summer break, and every single break where I'm just home, I end up just rotting really, really bad. When I'm rotting, I don't necessarily feel happy either, but I think it just feels more peaceful resting and not actually addressing the things that are worrying me because usually the things I want to do are not that easy and pretty challenging, but I know it's very possible. And because of that, it makes it even harder for me to accept because I know I could have done it. It's not like I have any reason to lay in my bed and keep scrolling, but because I did, I just feel even worse. I think the best thing to do when you're in a bad spiral is to adopt the mindset of like getting it off your plate as soon as possible. So if something is bothering you a tiny bit, like the answer ultimately is just do it right now and do it as soon as possible. It always feels easier to just lay in your bed and not do anything about it. Ultimately, getting it off your plate as soon as possible is the right answer. And after getting it off your plate, you always feel better, even if it isn't a big task. I think this also relates to like doing homework and exams and procrastinating that. Like it always feels better just to wait. And then the closer it comes, the more you regret about how you didn't do work or how you didn't study enough or how you didn't prep enough. And because of that, you end up in like a downward spiral where you feel more and more regretful and sad that you didn't complete your work. I think it's really easy to overcomplicate small, easy tasks into feeling like huge, challenging ones as well. Like for me, like a really small task like cleaning my room, it takes like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, honestly. But sometimes like I go like multiple days and weeks in advance. I feel like there are times where like for multiple days and multiple weeks, I keep myself a little messy. But even though I know I can clean it, I would rather not to because it feels like a lot of work mentally. But the answer always is to move quick and get it over with as soon as possible. But as I'm saying this, my room is pretty messy, so I don't exactly know what I'm trying to say. I think what's hard for many people is that it's hard not to have huge expectations of how well you can do or how well you'll act or how well you perform because you know you have no excuse. I think sometimes it's easier to rest or to rot when you know you've no other choice but to rot. But when you have the option or when you know that you could be doing things that are better for yourself, that accountability sometimes acts as a burden and stresses you out in the long run. So like sometimes I wonder like how much more productive I'd be if I didn't think I'd be able to do many things. Even small things like going to the gym, sometimes like it accumulates because if you have a consistent schedule and you do miss it for the rest of your day, it's kind of ruined because you have that in the back of your mind thinking, oh, I should have gone to the gym. I should have done this. I should have done that. And I think for most people, you only have so much energy and so much like mental capacity to be able to and to navigate anything that takes real effort. If you're able to do something subconsciously, that's different. Where if you're working on anything that you need to like struggle over in any sense, ultimately, you only have so much capacity to do that every day.